Hi there, Thunk00 here, and yes, today this really is my 200th SimCity 4 video I've uploaded to my channel. And, well, as you can probably gather from the title, we're going to be embarking on some projects that would be pretty significant in real life in the city tiles of Lagos and Long Beach. Now, Long Beach, that's where we're going to go first. I'm not even sure if I've ever shown you this tile before, or at least not with most of the stuff that's in it to date, but I will meet you as soon as we get there. Okay, so here we are in the city tile, and I'm glad that I didn't just have you guys sit with me as it was loading, because it did take quite a while. Anyway, there are a number of different types of areas in this tile. This particular agricultural area I built sort of to blend in with some of the development on Lagos on the same island, just on the other side of the city tile border. Of course, on Lagos there are no agricultural zones quite adjacent, and the housing is a bit denser, so that might be a change that we see in the future in this tile, to bring it to match that a little bit more. But for now, I think that it makes a great... it's not such a bad idea to have a lot of empty land around this particular area, and, well, you'll be seeing why in a minute. Yeah, the road network in here, it's not exactly the most logical setup I've ever seen, but I think it does work, and you'll see why everything is so stretched out east-west in a minute, too. Now, over here I do see one little improvement that I could make, and that is to fix up how this cul-de-sac ends here. I think it would be a little bit more realistic if it were to end in a little bit of a parking lot. That's how I've been ending roads similar to this for a while now. And there's nothing around here really to park for, but, might be people would want to drive over here and park in order to walk their dogs in the undeveloped land in the area, or something like that. Here, I'm just going to fix up these sidewalks too while I'm at it. I built this city tile quite a while ago, so yeah, there are quite a few things that could be improved, I'm sure, beyond what I'm seeing right now. But I'm not going to worry too much about any of that stuff quite yet. So let's scroll down to find the parking lots really quick. They should be, yep, just right around here. And I think I'm going to go with a 3x3. Alright, perfect. It's a commercial lot, and there's a little shopping cart receptacle area in the center, but I don't think anybody will notice that too much. Alright, so yeah, what else is there to see in this tile? This freeway, it connects straight to Lagos, and it works pretty well over there. Although there are some changes I do want to make on the Lagos side, mostly the one interchange that's on this island over here. It's kind of not to my current standards very much. And over here, as you can see, oh wow. Yeah, this looks pretty damn screwy. I might as well fix that smooth curve while I'm right here, because I don't think it will take more than a moment. Alright, yeah. And I bet that this interchange needs to be reworked too, right? Yep, sure looks like it. Well, I'm not going to be worrying about that right now. So let's go find the smooth curve. Maybe that'll be in a future video. Maybe I will just fix those two interchanges I was talking about on my own time. I don't know yet. I still have to decide. Okay, there we go. And yeah. Looks like it really does want me to bring it back a further tile. So that doesn't really necessarily bode well for my hopes of expanding the interchange right here if I don't have any extra space. But I'm sure I'll find a way to make it work. Likely this outer smooth curve will get changed over to RHW8. You know what? In fact, it is the 200th video. I think it might be a good idea to just do a little cut here and do the interchange improvement off camera. Just so it looks a bit better. It looks like I have to replop this smooth curve too, which kind of sucks. Yeah, I'll just see you back once all this stuff is done. Okay, so I managed to fix up the exit really quick. As you can see, it now has 6 through lanes. And yeah, the entrances now have acceleration lanes as well. So while I am still in this area, we might as well plop down some of the cosmetic pieces that are going to go here. So they are all 2-tile cosmetic pieces. Let's get right over to the type 8S ones with the dotted line separating one lane. So yeah, there are definitely a lot of 10S cosmetic pieces to scroll through. But we are almost there. There we are. Exit arrow. That's what we need. So we could probably have one. Yeah, might as well just have 2. And then fill in the rest with some straight block markings. Perfect. Alright, now we should probably have some merge arrows as well for the acceleration lanes. So it'll only take a moment to scroll over to these. Oh, there we are. So there will be one over here, one way over here where the actual merge point is, and one somewhere in the middle. Here seems good. And then we'll also want some of these arrows on the other side. Although on this side it looks like there will only be room for 2 arrows. That's okay. You see the same thing a lot in real life. Yeah, so like that and that, I guess. And too bad there are no diagonal cosmetic pieces for the center. Alright, so that's it for that exit. Now, I did a couple other things too. Like I replaced the TLA3 that ran under this overpass with a Road 3, asymmetrical Road 3. So that should be a little bit more functional. And the other thing I did while the recording was paused is I rebuilt this railway, which I hadn't touched since installing RRW. So that's why there are some trees missing from along its path. But now it is all upgraded, and as you can see, it takes a pretty circuitous route through the whole city tile. And yeah, this is another little town I've developed on the tile. It's supposed to have a little bit of a historic character. Anyway, that is enough of that. So I might as well reveal to you the real purpose of why I am in the city tile. And that is because it is about time we build Prospect Bay's regional airport, and that is why there's this huge this freeway kind of ends into a big loop with a huge parking area. That's because the airport is going to be going right next to it. Now, as far as the lots I'm using for this airport, pretty much it is the same one that Hal Jackie used in his YouTube series. It's not a custom airport per se, but it is the next best thing. And yeah, hopefully it will be enough for this region. Once I finally get around to building an airport in Yakutat Bay, that region I've taken the standards of realism up enough to know that I really do want to have a custom built airport there. But for here, I think that this will do just fine. Yeah, so hopefully I can plop it all and get it right on the first try. And I guess I already kind of precluded that by getting it wrong right there. Okay, so I believe this is the right tile for this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so that piece goes there, and then number 2, let me see if I can find it right here. Here, hold up, I want to be sure that I'm getting this right. This looks like it. Is it really that different of a size? Yeah, I guess it might as well be. Alright, so number 3 then. I think that's this one. I will stick it right here. And yeah, looks like we are almost at the end over here. Whoops. So, is that right? Yes. Okay. Good, good, good. We are making great progress. No misclicks on the wrong part so far. Okay. So this next part, I believe, is this one. Yeah, should fit in very nicely right there. And you can see I've already done a little bit of a fill project in order to be able to fit the entire parking lot there. Now it's going to be a bit repetitive because this lot has its own parking too, but it's not very realistic parking, so I figure, you know, I'll give people an option to park in underscale parking or in realistic parking. Alright, so I thought that this was the piece that I wanted for the 6th part, but oh, okay. Looks like I got the 2nd part wrong, so I will give that another try really quick. Yeah, that should work a little bit better. Alright, so what was the one I was looking at? Yeah, that right there. And then the 7th part, I believe, should be this right here. Ah, perfect. And the last part. I hope it's this one. That does not look right. Is this one any different? No, it's the exact same thing. Right. Yeah. I'm pretty clearly gonna have to demolish this road to get this to work. Oh well, it'll be easy to rebuild. And this one over here too, huh? Is that not flat right there? Huh. Looks like I'll have to be rebuilding that too, I guess. I thought this whole area was supposed to be flat. Well, that should fix it. So let's go find this part again. Yeah, it looks marginally better. And for the last part. Alright. Beautiful. And it's far past time if you ask me, but finally Prospect Bay has an airport. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so how did I have this road hooking up over here? No clue. Over here, I think I'm just going to have those rail tracks just kind of end, because I'm not really planning to build a new railway in this area. There's not really that much room. Over here, I'm just trying to figure out how this is going to work still. I suppose I could have a road just kind of meet up over there. Yeah, that'd work. Not really the most elegant solution though. Yeah, I think I'll keep it though. And then it'll provide access to this area as well. Yeah, I think that's perfect. So here's the airport, and it has a little bit less of parking on the lot than I remember, although it is all underscaled parking, which is a shame. So yeah, I think that this all technically counts as rail lots, so I want to plop a little something else in order to have the game understand that there is an airport here. So it seems like the city and airport bus stop is the kind of thing I'm looking for. Yeah, and it would be pretty easy to just plop, say, right over here. Let's see what it looks like there. Ooh, looks like I have to run the simulator a bit for it to build. Oh yeah, that's a decent looking lot. So, I do kind of wonder whether that will really provide airport access. Honestly, I could maybe use a higher capacity airport bus stop. That might be a little bit more realistic. Yeah, I guess I could give a try just plopping it right there. See how that works? Yeah, that looks a little bit better, I guess. And over here, I could probably stand to finish up the sidewalk over on this connecting one-way road. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. And over for this area, it looks like the textures are missing for a little bit of that RHW6, and it is an easy fix. That's good to see. So I don't really know what else I was planning to do in this city tile. I guess I might as well run the simulator a little bit, get to August, and replace some of the trees that I had to demolish. Oof. Yeah, I'm also very curious to see what this airport will look like on the region view. Honestly, this airport is pretty underscale, but I don't know. I think it looks kind of to scale enough. It's not supposed to be like a huge international hub airport deal going on right here. Certainly no Denver. No LAX. I don't really know why I brought those two up. They're just the biggest or most important hub airports that connect to the airports I usually use. Or at least hubs on an international scale, obviously. In the US, there are lots of medium-sized airports that also have quite a lot of flights. Okay, yeah, maybe some trees over there, some over here, and I got one on the lot right there, but nobody's gonna complain too much. It looks pretty scrubby anyway. Oof, over here though, I don't know. I think I have to do some demolishing after all, unfortunately. Should be easy though. Oops, wrong one. Yeah. Easy fix. And then this, might as well replace that as well while I'm at it. It was this one, right? No, that was this. Let me see if I can just remember. Okay, yeah, this looks like it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Alright, so really where most of the trees I had to get rid of, they were around the single track rail line. So that's the area I really should be focusing on right now. Boom, boom. Gonna have some open space around the parking lot there. You know, space for dogs to run around. At least that's what I hope it'll be used for. I could use some more trees around this highway too, because I did have to get rid of a fair number. And around those sound walls, just to disguise the base texture a little bit. Yeah, I still really have to learn to use the lot editor. Remove the base textures from some of these lots I use all the time, because I don't really like the base textures. If I wanted base textures, I wouldn't use a terrain mod, I guess. Or at least I would use a heck of a lot more ploppable lots to cover it up. So over here, I think it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to have some empty space around the train station, but over here, let's fill it on in. And it looks like I kind of screwed up the waste lot there, so I'll be replopping that as well. Alright. Thankfully, it's a very easy fix. And yeah, I think that should about cover it for today in Long Beach. So I will meet you guys back in the region view where we will just see what it looks like, see if it's functioning as an airport at that scale. So I'll see you there in a minute. Alright, so here's the region view, and as you can see, I think the airport looks pretty cool in the satellite overview. So let's check the transportation overview and see if there's anything. Oh yeah, it looks like it's working right. That little bus stop there gives us the airport symbol for this map, which is important. And hopefully, now that I've placed, it looks like 3 different airports in the game's terms, the skies won't be too clogged up with little plain sprites. But even if that happens, it won't be the end of the world. So anyway, yeah, that was really only the first part of this episode. And there's a few more things that I wanted to do over back in Lagos. So I'm not going to waste your time. We are going to go straight to that city tile. Okay, so here we are in the city. And once again, almost the first thing to pop up in our view is an interchange that needs rework. And there are actually a couple interchanges like that in the city. I also need to rework this one over here on Long Beach Island. And if I go further west, this exit here also needs to be rebuilt. But anyway, yeah, as you saw from the title, this really is the 200th SimCity 4 video I've ever put out, and I'm making a few really big public investments in this video. The first one was the airport. The next one is going to be a big stadium for Lagos. Now this area, kind of on the southern side of the eastern part of the city, I've had these roads built and ready for development for literally over 6 months at this point. And I've been planning the entire time to do a video about it, but hey, you know, stuff comes up and I never got around to it. But one of the first things you might notice about the street grid is that it looks awfully incomplete right here. That's because I thought that this would be an excellent spot to have Lagos's own, top quality, high capacity soccer stadium, especially with the World Cup going on right now. I think that it will be an excellent fit for the area. Yeah, so I will go ahead and find that and plop it really quick. It is way toward the bottom of the landmarks menu, if I remember correctly. The one I'm going to use, it's the Feyenoord Stadium, made by Casper VG, an excellent YouTuber in his own right. His channel, by the way, if you haven't watched all his videos a long time ago, which you should have, is VCasperVG, all one word. So it should be pretty easy to find. Anyway, I'm gonna just hook that lot up right there, and man, it looks excellent around here. I'm almost tempted to do all of the zoning for this area right now. But I don't know, that's not really the focus of this video. I want to talk a little bit more about the history of Lagos in the region, honestly, for those who haven't watched the Prospect Bay videos from the beginning. And by the way, if you have any interest at all in doing that, if only to skim over a couple to see how far the region has come, should be pretty easy. Just search Prospect Bay Part 1, and it should be right there. Yeah, wow. This neighborhood is going to be a lot of fun to zone. The idea I was going for is I wanted it to be a lot more suburban and modern looking than the other adjacent areas of Lagos to the north and to the west. So we'll definitely be doing that at some point on camera. But for now, I want to take a quick break because, as you might have heard, I got a text message, and I should probably respond to that and see what's up. So that was a friend who needed something, so I ended up taking more than an hour since I paused the recording and I had lunch. But when we just finished, I just plopped the stadium, and that concluded 2 of the 3 big public investments that I wanted to make in this video. So the third one was public transportation. Now this took me a long time to figure out because, as you might remember, Lagos back in the day used to have a streetcar service that ran along this northern avenue here, which interchanged with the highway there. It serves the industrial district here, and it connects the neighbor city Tal there. It also is the site of the oldest bridge between the 2 halves of the cities. And as it curves along the coast in the eastern part of the city, it provides connections to almost all of the main roads in the area, as well as to the newer neighborhoods on the northern islands, which have a bridge that connects to it as opposed to the main highway, which just kind of ends into it. And yeah, this avenue, it used to be the old route of the coastal highway through Prospect Bay, but when I was building the freeway, it was much more easy to bypass than to upgrade with all of the stuff already built along it. But as the freeways were coming to the city, I also ran into the problem that there's no way to carry RHW over an avenue with streetcar tracks. The puzzle pieces just don't exist. So I had to decide, do I want streetcars in the city or do I want freeways? And I decided in favor of the freeways, so the streetcars were torn up and are long gone. And frankly, they were never really replaced as far as rail-based public transit service. I mean, we've got the heavy rail stations, and there are actually 3 mass transit type stations on the main rail tracks in the city. There's one in the center of the eastern district over there. There's a big one over here, kind of in the southern part of downtown, and way out in the neighborhoods out west, there's one more. Now the problem with this, though, is that the trains really can't run that frequently because they share a track with the main line for all of the freight heading through the region, and Lagos, in addition to having the region's main seaport over here, it's also the site of the only connection between the rail lines in the eastern and western parts of the region. Now there is a big north-south rail line, and that also only connects to Lagos. That's this right here. Whoop. And then the rail line through the western part of the region branches off right around here, and the one heading to the eastern part of the region follows this road over here. And as you can see, they connect over only a single bridge with only 2 tracks. So that's not really optimal for if we want this heavy rail line to be able to provide serious mass transit, rapid transit type service. So what I want to do today is fix it up so that there are 4 tracks all through the center area, and that way there can be 2 dedicated tracks for the mass transit and 2 dedicated tracks for through freight traffic. And then we'll be able to run a lot more trains and maybe build a couple extra stations even. And yeah, rapid transit in the city will never have seen better days pretty much. So without further ado, I'm just going to get started, and I might as well start from this side. So I'm going to have to get rid of this rail switch over here, and I'm going to try to keep the station for now, but yeah, I'm going to have to build another overpass and everything, and this avenue is going to need to extend another tile. So I'll just take care of that really quick. And, ooh, that's not going to work so well. You know what, I might be able to get away with not extending that avenue actually, now that I look at it again. So I'm not going to worry about that till I have to. Anyway, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is to place... Okay, so as you probably were able to tell, I pretty much crashed almost right away when I hovered a puzzle piece over the rail station there. So I'm gonna just get right back to doing what I was a moment ago, and hopefully I'll be a little bit more careful this time. So, starting with expanding the platform on the rail station again. Yeah, I wasn't even, and I managed to hover it over when I was just gesticulating around my mouse cursor for no real reason, so yeah, not really the most professional moment of this video. Alright, let's first actually flatten out the path that the railroad tracks are going to take, because I don't want any unnecessary bumps there if I can avoid it. And yeah, that looks good. So let's get the over avenue piece and place it very carefully. Takes quite a while to scroll to this one since there are just so many 15-meter viaduct rail pieces. Okay, perfect. Perfect. And I'm also going to try to place a couple of the straight pieces just before I place the next station, since I have slightly more leeway right now than I will then. Okay, so I got that, and man, I am being paranoid about this. I just don't want to crash twice in a row. Okay, and again it looks like we have a bit of a grade problem, but I'm not going to worry about it this time. Yeah, actually I'm just going to place the rail over street pieces all right now, because, you know, why not? We're already in the right spot to do it. And I'll get these over road pieces as well while I'm at it. And I might as well place all the straight pieces, you know, well, I've already placed all the other puzzle pieces leading up to this area. So yeah, there are definitely quite a few demolitions that have to be done in order for this project to go through, but hey, that's why we have eminent domain, right? Besides, it's only low density houses this time around, and you know, often those are the neighborhoods with the most political power, but frankly the people in this neighborhood over here, well, they look pretty wealthy. They might not like this project actually, but you know, screw them, right? They're just NIMBYs anyway. So let me see if I can find the SFBT Viaduct Rail Station, and yep, that is it. So, whoop, that is not facing the way I want it to. Let me see if I can get that right without having to bulldoze anything. Looks like I moved my mouse very slightly there. Now, I really wouldn't know on my own why lots like this sometimes seem to randomly change orientation between when you rotate them and you click. But watching Sam Google Plexi on this channel, who I've shouted out before, yeah, he explains it as if you move your mouse even slightly as you click, that is what causes a lot to rotate again. Even if it's only an infinitesimal movement, if the mouse detects it, it will rotate the lot. But anyway, I managed to avoid moving the mouse there, so you can see I was able to get it to face the way I want to. And yeah, so my idea with this pretty much is that maybe the outer tracks would be devoted to, you know, rapid transit passenger rail only, while the inner tracks would be there for the freight trains to kind of just blow by on. It would make for some pretty noisy waiting for your train when the freight trains are only going by. It might be kind of hard to see trains pulling up to the other platform, but frankly, those are not really big deals. So, yeah, I think that this is definitely probably one of the more elegant solutions I could have thought of for mass rapid transit in the city. And I keep confusing in my mind mass transit and rapid transit, since they tend to frequently be used pretty interchangeably in real life, even though they have very different meanings. Alright, double track rail puzzle pieces. Let's get those 45-degree curves. So yeah, that looks like the closest I can get it, and I will have to, well, you know what? I might be able to just move the whole switch interchange entirely. So I'm going to give that a try really quick, and I'm going to have to replace the trees around here anyway. There will be more trees to replace by the time I'm done, so it's no worries. Alright, so double track puzzle pieces. There, that's what I want. So I want to bring it one tile further out. Yep, just like that. And this a tile further in. Would this be right? You know what? I think that this is probably right there. So let's see, is that all hooked up? Yep, that's right. So now, let's get those 45-degree curves. Yeah, looks like this is just a little bit off. It's gonna have to be pushed back, I guess. I guess I already had it. I moved it 2 tiles forward, and I shouldn't have. Same goes for this. So I'll see if this works a little bit better. Yeah, something like that. Well, that might be wrong, actually. And that, yeah, that's wrong. So I really do want both of them to be just as close in as I can get them. That's convenient that the overpasses and underpasses lined up just right for me to be able to do that. Yep, that looks a lot better this time. Everything fit in nicely. And we can draw out the rest of the rails. Perfect, so that is the switch right there. And you know what, in order for there to definitely be an opportunity for freight trains to get into onto the inner rail and the passenger trains to get on to the outer, I mean. We will have those crossovers for that purpose. And, crossovers might make sense over here too, but I don't think they exist for viaduct rail, so I won't worry about it. Alright, yeah, this part of the project looks to be pretty much done, so I should really move on to fixing up this bridge over here. Now, unfortunately, it's impossible to build two adjacent Maxis bridges, so I'm going to have to do a bit of leveling over a slightly wider area in order to be able to fit two bridges that aren't too far apart from each other. So, for that, I'm going to use this tool. Just making sure that everything around here is at the height I want it. And it looks like I want one more tile, is that it? Yeah, one more tile. There we go. Whoops. So let's make sure that this is all leveled out to the right spot. Alright, perfect. This is going to need to be demolished too. I'm going to worry about repairing that in just a minute. Okay, so with that in place, let's worry about drawing out these bridges. So I want to use the same style I had before, because I think it's the only overwater bridge for viaduct rail. Yeah, so that worked pretty much perfectly. Now the tricky part is going to be to get the curves into place. So I might as well do this side first, for no real reason at all. Okay, yeah, that was actually really easy. So let's see if it's as easy on the other side. It should be, right, because I leveled everything out. And it is. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So I'm going to need to get rid of this switch now, which is good because it wasn't looking very good. And let's get two over avenue pieces. Alright, 1 and 2, perfect. And let's get the straight pieces just to fill in the gaps. Whoops, gonna have to demolish that one, looks like. Alright, so that all worked pretty much perfectly. I'm very glad about that. I expected I might have a little bit of difficulty. Anyway, for over here, I think I can pretty much put a asymmetrical road 3 starter. Whoops, might be a little bit trickier than that though, since it doesn't go both ways. Now let's see how that looks. I don't know, I don't really like that. So what I'm going to do instead... Oh hey, there's a drag bowl transition. I didn't realize that. So would it work to... Nah, I'm gonna have to drag this out. And I might as well demolish that tile for now. Yeah, I can't really use the draggable transition there since the override's not stable enough. So I'm gonna do what I was planning to do a minute ago anyway, which is to use my little basic tulips piece there. And yep, that's how I wanted it to work. Oof, and you know what? That doesn't really work. So never mind. But it might very well now. Nah, it won't. So let me see if this transition will fit. I have a feeling that it's been retrofitted with starter pieces as well. So yeah, TLA 3 to ARD 3. It's not really showing me any preview here. But it does appear to work, so I'm not going to complain. It's just the turning lane, if I do it this way, is a little bit shorter, but I guess the overflow cars could always go onto the center turn lane. Yeah. So it's no big loss to do it like this in the end. And it does get rid of the left turn lane from the avenue, but that was already really undersized. So again, not the biggest loss. Yeah, and I don't know how I feel about the S-curves and the rail viaducts here, but I don't really know what I could do to get rid of them either, so I'm going to learn to live with them. Now, anyway, here, let me see if I can fix that with a click. Yep, sure enough. So, anyway, the